Okay, good evening, everybody. It's 6 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We'll begin with an invocation led by Councilmember Adams, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilmember Thomas. Please rise as you're able.
Tonight I'd like to read a passage from Adrienne Marie Brown, the author. The future is not an escapist place to occupy. All of it is the inevitable result of what we do today, and the more we take it in our hands, imagine it as a place of justice and pleasure, the more the future knows we want it, and that we aren't letting go.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, would you please call roll?
Councilwoman Adams.
Here.
Councilman DeBartoleben.
Here.
Vice Mayor Fugit. Councilman Grant.
Here.
Councilwoman Helsley. Councilman Honeycutt.
Here.
Councilman Lloyd. Here. Councilwoman Parker. And Councilman Thomas. Here. 8 members are present, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion on the minutes of the June 9th meeting?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. To tonight's agenda, are there any items to be withdrawn? Are there any items to be postponed? Councilmember Honeycutt.
I'd like to make a motion to postpone item 11E to July 7th.
Okay, motion made and seconded to postpone item 11E to July 7th. It's been made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Councilmember Adams, do you have questions about that?
I have a separate item.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor of this postponement, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to postpone carries. Councilmember Adams.
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to request to postpone item 10C until July 21st per applicant's request.
Okay, motion made to postpone item 10C to July 21st has been made and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other items to be postponed? Any items to be added? We don't have any memorials or honorary resolutions. And the consent agenda. Councilmember Honeycutt.
I would like to request that ordinance 13W be removed from consent.
Okay, 13W has been removed per Councilman Honeycutt's request. Councilmember Parker?
And 12R.
12R will also be removed per Councilmember Parker's request. Any other changes to the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of approval. Oh, I need a motion on the consent agenda as adjusted just now.
Move to approve.
Okay, motion made to approve the consent agenda has been made and seconded. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, time now for my mayor's report. First, I want to thank everyone who took part and helped organize the Juneteenth parade on Friday. The MLK Commission has done an amazing job making this event bigger and better every year. It was great to see so many people out there during the parade and then the party afterwards at the park. I want to make a special thank you to our Empower Knox team, our Summer in the City interns, Kat, and all the other city folks who represented the city in the parade. It was, I'd say, one of our best Juneteenth parades ever. I had a great time, and I feel like the people who are enjoying it did too. Tomorrow, we are kicking off our country's 250th birthday party with a special Kidderific. We are partnering with James White Fort, the East Tennessee History Center, and the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame for a free, fun-filled event all along Hill Avenue. Families can enjoy free tours of those museums, special games, and lots of patriotic fun. So Kidderific is every Wednesday, and tomorrow is no exception. It'll be tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Hill Avenue, right over there, and hope to see all of you out there. It's a really, really fun day. I look forward to stopping by. We're also going to be celebrating on the 4th of July at the city's festival on the 4th at World's Fair Park. This family-friendly event kicks off at 5 and culminates with fireworks and the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra on the performance lawn. We've also partnered with downtown store Nothing Too Fancy for a commemorative 250th t-shirt. They're on sale now, so get one while they last. They're pretty cool, and they have that nice soft cloth that Nothing Too Fancy specializes in, so I hope you have a chance to check that out. I also want to take a moment to recognize Stephanie Brewer-Cook, our ADA coordinator the last 29 years. Stephanie is retiring at the end of this month, and I just want to take a few moments to speak about her many contributions to our city. She's been a passionate champion for accessibility for all, and I want to reassure you, as council members and the listening public, that we are going to continue advancing the work that Stephanie has been doing for so many years. Starting July 1st, HR Director Betsy Cunningham will become the city's ADA coordinator, and this is the standard of practice in many of our peer cities. Betsy will work closely with other HR members specializing in ADA resources and working to connect others with vital resources in the city. So if you need an interpreter for an event, you can call HR or send an email to ada@knoxvilletn.gov. If you see something in our city that is not ADA accessible, you can call HR or email us, and we will connect you with engineering to get it fixed. If you or someone you know needs a special accommodation, give HR a call, and we will connect you to the best person to help. The bottom line, ADA considerations are now ingrained in the work of departments across the city, and that's thanks in part to nearly 3 decades of work by our colleague, Stephanie Brewer-Cook. Because of her advocacy, she has helped not only remove physical barriers, but more importantly, changed perceptions and mindsets. Thanks to Stephanie, Knoxville is a more welcoming, inviting, and accessible city, and we appreciate Stephanie's diligence and commitment. Last week, a big crowd turned out to honor Stephanie at a reception at the Public Works Service Center, and I proclaimed June 17th, 2026 to be Stephanie Brewer-Cook Day in Knoxville. And Stephanie has that proclamation already, but I wanted to share one excerpt from it to council tonight. Here's the excerpt. Stephanie's leadership has inspired and grown a citywide commitment to accessibility. She has profoundly improved the quality of life for countless residents through her dedication and tireless advocacy, leaving a legacy that will benefit Knoxville for generations to come. Stephanie's here tonight. If you would please raise your hand, and let's give Stephanie a well-deserved round of applause. Thank you so much. And now, a quick reminder about our rules of decorum. We are here to do the city's official business. Those who wish to speak, either to a specific agenda item or during public forum, need to sign up with the city recorder before 4 p.m. Do not use profanity, and when speaking to specific agenda items, you must stay on topic. Remarks must be germane to the question ahead of the assembly. That is, statements must have bearing on whether the pending motion should be adopted. Those who fail to adhere to these rules will be ruled out of order. For those who are listening, please note, if you disrupt a public meeting, you will be asked to leave or escorted out. Thank you in advance for respecting these rules. And that concludes my mayor's report. Are there reports of committee or council members serving on committees or boards? Okay, are there general council member, council member Grant?
Yes, we had our audit committee last Wednesday and just wanted to make constituents and the public aware of the updates that came out of that meeting regarding the nonprofit verification list. So I definitely want to thank Finance and Office of Community Safety for getting that list in a timely manner to help the process in terms of making sure that nonprofits, have all their documentation, and also making sure that we're rewarding these nonprofits in the right manner. So I just wanted to update everybody on that. So we did get the verification list throughout the audit committee. So thank you.
Okay. Are there general council member announcements? Council member Adams?
Yes, thank you. 3 things. One, just a big thanks to the community and volunteers, KPD, KFD, KUB, and all of the city's help with the construction on Sevier Avenue. It made the Sono Pride event bigger and better than ever, and I really appreciate everyone keeping folks safe and making it as smooth as it could be. So thanks for that. Two events that are happening this week. Knoxville Soup is a microfinancing community-oriented event that is happening on Thursday, July 25th. In South Knoxville, there are presentations from some small organizations that are looking to hopefully win the vote of everyone participating and get a little bit of funding for their project, and it's open to all. You can learn more about that at knoxvillesoup.org. And the other event is for City Council. The next meet and greet is this Friday, June 26th at 8:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. at Old Sevier Market. It is just a casual meet and greet for an opportunity to just have conversation, community, and some coffee. So everyone, please come out.
Thank you. Councilmember Parker.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I actually wanted to get a little bit more clarification, if you don't mind, with your announcement about the disability services are moving over to human resources. And human resources will also continue to be, or the human resources director will also continue to be the Title VI coordinator.
Correct.
So disability services and the Title VI coordinator, as well as human resources department director. What about the Disability Services Council? Will it continue?
Yes, absolutely. I'm planning on calling a meeting later this summer.
And will that be under the mayor's office?
It's called the Mayor's Council on Disability Issues, and I'm looking forward to reconvening that. We haven't set a date yet, but hope to do it within this season, this summer.
And I've been asked questions about the membership of that council and if it's going to...
Yeah, no, we're going to continue with the council, and there are some vacancies, and we'll look forward to filling those vacancies. And if you hear from community members who are interested in serving, please send me their names, and we'll make sure that's fully, just active, engaged, and back meeting again more routinely.
And then finally, you did mention that if employees or individuals in the community have questions or concerns about disability services or other, that they could contact the HR department. Will there be any sort of name change for the department so that people will not have to remember that it's housed in Human Resources, but be able to find it on our website where these services are housed?
Yeah, we're still working out those details. I think there's some information on the web already, but we can try to make sure that it's even as clear as it can be. If you have some suggestions, I'm happy to hear those out to make sure that people know who to call for, these whatever issues, whether it's built environment issues or employee issues or issues that are between two private priorities and they just need some guidance on how to get help.
Okay. Those are some of the questions. I just wanted to take this opportunity to ask those. Thank you.
Thank you. Council Member Honeycutt.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to say thank you to the West Hills Community Association for hosting a great summer picnic last Saturday in West Hills Park. A lot of great neighbors and community members showed up for that. And to thank, 3 in particular city departments that were the hit of the star of the show. The fire department, thank you for bringing out the fire truck and turning on the hose for the kids. That was wonderful. Thank you to the police department for bringing out the horses, incredible ambassadors, and the kids obviously I loved it, and the kids really loved it too. As you can imagine, horses and a fire truck at a picnic. I mean, it doesn't get better than that. And then thank you for Knox County Planning for being there to talk and engage with community members about the comprehensive plan that's going on called What's Next Knoxville. So obviously the comprehensive plan is really important, means a lot of community input, and so everyone in the audience, please go to whatsnextknoxville.com to fill out surveys, learn more, and get engaged. So thank you all.
Thank you. Councilmember Grant.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just wanting to rebuttal, this past weekend, Juneteenth holiday, wishing all the fathers out there, hope they had a great Father's Day as well. And the MLK Commission, I appreciate the work that you guys are doing to continue to allow the history to be known in our community. That parade and that event rolls every year, and just so seeing the value in that. So I definitely wanted to say thank you for that. Next Wednesday, July 1st, the Parks and Rec will officially be taking over Chihowie Park. And in celebration with that, the city, Parks and Rec, and a bunch of other partners, we're going to be hosting an event at the Chihowie Park Midway side from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'm encouraging everybody to come join. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have different vendors, kids, activities for kids. And so would love to see as many community members and my constituents, if you can, to attend next Wednesday, July 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. at Chihowie Park. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving right along. Unless there are any other announcements, I don't see any. We'll move on then, please. Thanks, Mr. Johnson.
9B is a resolution appointing a city council representative to the African American Equity Restoration Task Force to serve as chair.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve has been made and seconded. Just a quick point of information, the current chair and two other members of the task force are present today. Tanisha Baker Fitzgerald, Deborah Porter, and Pastor Jones are present should council members have questions for them. Councilmember Grant.
Yes, before we get started, I want to make a move to amend the resolution just by striking a few words. The first whereas clause, where it says supported by $100 million financial commitment by the administration, and just replacing those words with supported by a $100 million commitment made by the administration to apply supportive grants totaling no less than $100 million. Just want to make sure that we have that clarity, just to make sure that, the commitment of the administration and creation of the task force is accurately stated to avoid any confusion in the future in terms of how we make this financial commitment.
Okay, motion to amend has been made by Councilmember Grant and seconded. Any questions about the amendment? Councilmember Parker, a question about the amendment? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of this amendment, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion to amend carries. Now back to the motion, original motion as amended. Councilmember Parker.
Thank you, Mayor. I wanted to bring this resolution because it came to council's attention during a recent grant workshop that we did not have a representative on this task force. A task force that the city council created by resolution, first adopting a resolution acknowledging the harms of urban removal, and then or renewal. I've kind of changed the name of it myself. And then a follow-up resolution to form the task force. And when I revisited that resolution, the members of the task force were appointed for the life of the task force, and we did not distinguish create a city council representative at that time, even though the resolution was brought by former Vice Mayor Gwen McKenzie, who was appointed as a member of the task force. Once the former Vice Mayor's term ended, I was under the impression that we would appoint a new representative from the city council, and since the majority of the area and the residents that we are discussing in terms of this resolution are in the 6th District, I thought it appropriate that the 6th District representative serve on that task force as the city council representative. So I brought the resolution forward today for us to discuss, and hopefully we're all in agreement that that any city council committee or task force should have a city council representative on it. So that is what's before us today.
Okay, Councilmember Adams?
Thanks. I am absolutely in favor of having council representation, and I think it's something I remember from early days of our orientation, thinking about there needing to be council representation there. So I'm glad that this is coming forward. I had a couple of questions about the structure and I haven't looked at the bylaws of this task force, but I just wondered if it is time for those bylaws to be looked at, and if that is something that this resolution needs to be saying, or if that's something that needs to be tasked as it moves forward.
I can answer that question if it was for me.
It was kind of to the group, but absolutely want to hear what everyone has to say.
Just to point out quickly that I used the same language that was in the resolution when we formed the task force, so hopefully there wouldn't be any confusion, but I included a section at the end, requiring that the task force update their leadership structure and documents to align with these decisions.
Councilmember, I'll go to Councilmember Grant, and then we can continue the discussion. Go ahead.
Yeah, and thank you. First and foremost, I definitely want to say thank you to Councilwoman Parker for bringing this forward, and Councilwoman Adams for your question. I think it's very important, right, to, possibly take a look at the bylaws to figure out where can we make room for improvement. This resolution has been active for the past 5 years, and while I think great, tremendous strides have been made, right? I don't want to discredit this task force in any way, especially, its leadership, right? And so, if I'm able to step into this role of chair, that would be one of the first things that I do, obviously with the support of the other task force members, to see how can we restructure this to retake a look at the bylaws, obviously get new council members, including myself, caught up on what the process has been, and see if there's any room for improvement. So having a conversation with Mrs. Baker and those committee members who've been able to sit on this task force for some time, I look forward to the opportunity to seeing how we can transition into a much more useful task force that offers a little bit more clarity on these things. So to answer your question, I do think that's something that we should revisit in terms of the bylaws.
Councilmember Adams, I'll just say that I wanted to commend the members of the task force. They do have term limits. They serve 3-year terms. I think Councilmember McKenzie was the only one who was to serve the duration of the total 10-year commitment, is my understanding. This was created from scratch, so the task force itself took it upon themselves to work on creating bylaws. I believe those are posted on their on the webpage, as is annual impact reports. That's up on their webpage, council, not 6 of you were not present at that time, but every time there's been new appointments to this task force, that's been brought to you all. Some of the candidates have come through community or council members, and those have all been approved by council over the years. But obviously, times have changed, and you guys weren't there for those beginning points. So those are just some points of information to share. Councilmember Honeycutt?
Yes. First of all, I'm very supportive of this initiative and appreciative of you all both bringing it forward and being willing to serve in this capacity. It's great. I guess to your question, Councilwoman Adams, the bylaw question feels like at this point it could be handled at the committee level and maybe doesn't have to be part of the formal resolution unless someone felt really strongly like that language needed to be there. I know you're going to address it at the committee level, so that's probably, as far as I'm concerned, probably okay to not have it dictated by the resolution. So thank you.
Councilmember Adams?
Thank you. And I'm hearing Councilmember Grant talk about, that's absolutely something that he's interested in doing. It sounds like there's a openness to that, and that my interest in that comes from just serving on a lot of boards and knowing that after you have some time, like, you start to figure out, like, oh, this could be something we could tweak and make better. And because I'm on the Rules Committee with you, so we do that stuff. The other question I had, and again, this is truly for discussion, is the setting of chair with this. I'm just curious, I'm 100% supportive of having someone from council. I was interested in the desire from both of the council members who sponsored this to designate a chair before having discussions with the sitting folks who are on the task force.
Councilmember Parker, did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can definitely speak to that. The resolution clarifies our intention that that the task force adhere to the, or at least, strive towards the goals set by resolution adopted by City Council, and acknowledges a council representative being the best person to kind of guide that ship. That was my thinking with appointing the chair. It's also not, it's something that is commonly done. The golf course committee has always had a city council chair. Until recently, the audit committee always had a city council chair. And I think that it's good practice, so that was something that I recommended.
Mr. Grant?
Yeah, and just kind of piggybacking on that, just creating a direct line in terms of policy and funding. I also think about the increased accountability from council's perspective as well in terms of chairing this task force. And, just being able to strengthen the communication between both community and city government as well. I think, having a council member actually chair will help strengthen that communication as well, so.
Any further questions or discussion? Councilmember Helsley?
Yeah, is Miss Baker here somewhere? I can't really, everybody's in the lot back here. Can you come to the podium, please? Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
Were you all consulted about this at all? Did you all know this was going on?
No, I didn't know that there was a plan to kind of restructure the task force itself, so,
Okay, so, and you all have already elected a new president or chair
yes.
to take over when? Next month or in summer sometime?
When did we elect them?
Yeah, when did?
I think it was a couple of months ago, actually. So it was a person who actually, Reverend Vincent Jones, who's been serving on the task force. And so just really thinking about who had the time and the capacity, because it's a lot of investment when you are serving in that role, who's been able to show up not only at those meetings, but community events and engage our stakeholders in some of the conversations and the goals that we've had. So that election has happened.
And when does he become president or chair? When does he take over as chair, or he already has?
July 1st.
July 1st, okay.
And it was it's kind of in between. So officially my term ended the last meeting of this cycle, which was a couple of weeks ago, but that's when we had the rain and it flooded. So that got delayed, but he officially will take chair in July.
Okay. Thank you. I was just wondering if you all were involved in this at all. So now we know. Thanks.
Okay, Councilmember, oh, no lights are on. Any further questions or discussion? Okay, seeing, oh, no, okay. Councilmember Adams, okay.
I'll be super brief. Given what Councilwoman Helsley and Ms. Baker were talking about, I just encourage, as assuming that this passes, that there be good dialogue with the folks who have been serving and have been through recent elections, and make sure that there's good transfer of knowledge and transfer of responsibilities.
Councilmember Grant?
And I just want to state for the record that I'm going to be leaning on, the committee members who've had the time and serving, not only for the knowledge, but to make sure that, I don't want to be seen as coming in and, taking over. So I will rely heavily on this committee to support, myself as chair moving forward, and relying heavily on this administration to make sure that we're occupying in a productive way to make sure that the community truly benefits from this task force. So, thank you.
Any other questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12F is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an amendment to an agreement with the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation for the Liberty Street Multimodal Project, increasing the total project funding to $2,332,342 and extending the date of completion to December 31, 2026.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Councilmember Grant? Any other questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12G is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an amendment to an agreement with the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation for the Northwest Greenway Connector Phase 2 project, increasing the total project funding to $7,227,492 and extending the date of completion to December 31, 2028, Districts 2, 3, and 6.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Councilman Honeycutt?
Yes, I just want to point out for the record and for everyone that I just commend this is a really effective use of taxpayers' money because 80% of the cost is being paid by TDOT. So only 20% of the cost is actually paid by the local tax dollars, and we're leveraging a large portion of TDOT money to get this great greenway done for our community. So it's a good job by the engineering department to take advantage of that program and to deliver this using those dollars. Thank you.
Any other questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12H is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Davis H. Elliott Construction Company, Incorporated, for on-call services for traffic signal detector loops in an annual amount not to exceed $60,000 for a one-year term with 2 optional one-year renewal terms.
Move. Second.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12I is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Integrated Response Systems, LLC, for on-call services for traffic signal detector loops in an annual amount not to exceed $60,000 for one-year term with 2 optional one-year renewal terms.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12J is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Salvation Army to provide an amount not to exceed $65,000 in homeless general funds for the provision of emergency shelter service and essential services to approximately 45 individuals through the Joy Baker Center.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12K is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Catholic Charities of East Tennessee to provide an amount not to exceed $30,000 in homeless general funds to provide emergency shelter services through Samaritan Place.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12L is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Volunteer Ministry Center Incorporated to provide at amounts not to exceed $54,720 in homeless general funds for the provision of emergency shelter and essential services through its dental clinic and resource center.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Councilman Honeycutt.
Yes, just a general comment for several of these items addressing homelessness. I just want to say we all understand, that homelessness is a large problem that our city's dealing with. The city can't tackle it alone. We need a lot of these great partner organizations that are out there in the community doing important work every day. So thank you to these partner organizations that are on the list for the work you do. It's incredibly important, and we know you don't receive as much recognition as you should, and we can't give you as much money as you need with our limited funds, but I'm happy to support, this whole series of resolutions to help where we can. So thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12M is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Volunteer Ministry Center Incorporated to provide at amounts not to exceed $40,000 in homeless general funds for the provision of rapid rehousing services.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12N is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Knoxville, Knox County Community Action Committee to provide an amount not to exceed $65,000 in homeless general funds for the provision of rapid rehousing services.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12O is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Community Mediation Center to provide an amount not to exceed $25,000 in homeless general funds for the provision of eviction mediation services to 300 individuals facing eviction within the city of Knoxville.
Motion made to approve has been made and seconded. Jen Comiskey is here to speak in favor of this from the Community Mediation Center. If you would come to the podium and please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Jen Comiskey. My address is 504 Irwin Drive. Thank you all for having me here and for letting me speak just briefly about the important work that our organization is doing, because I think that the eviction prevention part of this might be a little bit less understood. And I think that there might be some folks who don't know much about what our organization is doing in terms of homelessness prevention and why it's so important for this to be part of the plan. I'm the executive director of Community Mediation Center. I've been in this role for about a year, but I've been with the organization since 2005. So I've spent my whole career at this organization, and I've seen over time the good work that we do. We provide mediation services in this context for the day of court. So we have teams of mediators available at General Sessions Court for people who are on the eviction docket, people who are within a couple hours or a few hours of getting an eviction judgment. And that's where we come in, where we have people who are trained to work with people who are not represented by attorneys. We don't deal with a lot of landlords that are more, more corporate type landlords. We work with a lot of small businesses, kind of mom and pop landlord-tenant relationships. And we are specialists at working with people who are not represented with attorneys and navigating all of the difficult ethical quandaries that can come up with people who are unrepresented in terms of screening for appropriateness, making sure that people get connected to resources when they need it, making sure that people aren't being taken advantage of by someone when there's a power imbalance, and screening for when people really do need to get legal advice before making choices. So our team is specialists at doing that, and we've been doing that for years. So through mediation, landlords and tenants can have a structured conversation about what's happening. Sometimes that means people are able to stay in the residence. They're able to avoid having to leave. They're able to come up with a workable plan to deal with the issues that they're facing. And sometimes it means working out a different move-out date to where they have more time to leave to line up additional housing. Sometimes it means they can do a judgment pending, or a dismissal pending performance, meaning that even if they do need to leave, they're leaving without an eviction judgment on their record that would make it even more incredibly difficult for them to find housing elsewhere. So I just wanted to take just a few moments to let y'all know about the importance of this work that we do and how it is very hands-on direct services to people who are literally in danger of being evicted, within 10 days of that ruling. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Komisky. Any further questions or discussion? Councilmember Thomas. Oh, I don't think your microphone's working either. Maybe use Mr. Frost's. Use Mr. Frost so you can.
The council here.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I just briefly wanted to say how much we appreciate the work you're doing. And this body here has offered assistance to the legal aid department in their efforts to try to provide attorneys. But we can't cover all of that. So too many people fall through the cracks on that, and it's a huge crack. And so the efforts that you make where people can have some degree of power in the bargaining process without an attorney is immeasurable. So I really want you to know that we really appreciate what you're doing, and don't hesitate to come back and ask for some help, and we'll do what we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Well, and I just want to piggyback what Councilman Thomas just reiterated, because you guys, this is just a fraction of what you guys do. I mean, the Community Mediation Center not only focuses on, evictions, but even my own experience. I was able to receive some training for you guys in terms of, de-escalating certain things in our community, whether it's domestic violence or whether it's, some type of personal interaction that we're having in our community. And so this is just a small percentage of what the Community Mediation Center does. And, you humbly only reiterated just a small fraction, but they do a lot of great work. And so, anything that I can support, in terms of you guys, please, again, like Councilman Thomas said, don't hesitate. Yeah.
That means a lot. May I say one thing in response to that? I just want to shout out to the fact that we're able to do so much work with so little is because we have an amazing team of volunteers. We have a very small staff. We run on a very small budget, but we operate large teams of volunteers who we train, supervise, mentor, and they go out, as Councilman Grant said, into many court and non-court disputes. And it's because of their passion and their commitment and their willingness to give of their time that we're able to do the work that we do. So I also want to pass along all praise to them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
12P is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Catholic Charities of East Tennessee to provide an amount not to exceed $25,000 in community development block grant funding for an updated security system at its Samaritan Place facility, District 3.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. I just want to give a shout out to the Housing and Neighbor Development team for partnering with these great nonprofits in our community: Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, Samaritan Place, Volunteer Ministry Center, Community Mediation Center. They all do good work, and it's wonderful that through our Housing and Neighbor Development resources, we can augment the good work they're doing. So thank you for that. Next item, please.
12Q is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Legends Global for full service management of the Knoxville Convention Center, World's Fair Exhibition Hall, and Knoxville Civic Auditorium and Coliseum at an annual cost up to $905,000, plus approved consumer price index adjustments.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions? Yes, Councilmember Adams?
Yes, I just had a couple. Ms. Boebert?
Absolutely.
If you could, Mary Bogert, please state your name and address for the record. I know who you're here for, but if you could just identify
Mary
yourself.
Bogert, 2112 Chasway Boulevard, Maryville, Tennessee.
Thank you. And thank you for all the work that you've done over the years with Legends and with all the facilities. I just wanted to ask a couple of questions. First, about the process that will be used for reservations, knowing that the goal is to make sure that we've got usage of the facilities, that we've got a lot of different activities happening there. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. Well, we have a booking policy that was in place. That's the way we've always operated. That booking policy allowed us to book within 14 months. That is now changing to 18 months. We collaborate with Visit Knoxville. Going forward, we will be meeting with Visit Knoxville and city administrators on a monthly basis to talk about ways to maximize things that we can do. We're just working together, to maximize the usage of all the facilities, picking the best pieces of business that will drive economic impact.
Can you also provide some assurance, knowing that there are there big events that come, and then there are smaller events that may be ones that we've done for years? Can you provide some assurance that this contract doesn't change how access will be available?
Absolutely. Well, let me start by saying that the entire team that's been in place is still in place. So that's a positive thing. We work very, very closely with our community partners. We have what we call our legacy events that are important to the city and to us. Fantasy of Trees, for instance, Dogwood Home and Garden Show. A lot of these are legacy events that have been here with us for years. Nativity over at the Civic, and we're going to continue to honor those. None of that will change. We love our local community partners. Actually, those events also help pay the bills. So we want to maximize usage, and there's space for just about everything. It's about putting the pieces of the puzzle into place. We do, I gave you an analogy when we were speaking earlier, the Urban League, for instance. We had an opportunity, we book the Urban League for their gala every single year. They always get a Thursday in October. And if you know Phyllis, you don't ever want to upset Phyllis. But one year we had the opportunity to book a 2,000-room convention. So I reached out to Phyllis. We talked about it, told her about the opportunity, and that's what a good community partner is. She knew it was good for the city as well. We did incent them. They got a nice champagne toast that year, and they moved. We were able to do both events. So those are the types of things that we do in order to work with our local partners to make sure that we're maximizing the space and making good decisions on behalf of the city.
I really appreciate you speaking to that and providing that assurance that community events, along with the blockbusters, will all have the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Councilmember Parker.
Any other
Well,
question?
just wanted to clarify that we are, I was trying to find the term of this agreement, and I couldn't pull it up quickly enough.
Mr. Rosenberg?
5 years.
Yeah, I think it's 5 years with two
2
chances to renew.
5-year optional renewals.
Yes,
So potentially a 15-year
potentially, yes.
agreement. And this is new name, same operation,
It is.
right? Formerly ASM Global, now Legends. So we've worked with
Also
you along.
SMG, yes.
So SMG, true. Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to clarify that on the record so
Absolutely.
that folks were clear on that. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Councilmember Honeycutt?
Yeah, just again for clarity too, I appreciate you all and your team and Legends going through the process. I know a national level RFP was submitted. A lot of different organizations were considered for this. And I'm glad that at the end of the process, you all were selected as the best value for the city. So thank you to the department for going through that process. Thank you to you all for going through that process, but that assures all of us, and at least me in particular, that, we're, being wise with the taxpayer dollars and selecting. And it is good that you have been in the city and operating these facilities, and you have that inside knowledge that'll help a lot to keep consistency. So I'm supportive of this and appreciate the process that you all went through to bring sort of assurance to the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
12R is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to apply for and accept a fiscal year 2026 Office for Victims of Crimes grant from the U.S. Department of Justice in the amount of $500,000 with no required local match to support the development, expansion, and strengthening of victim service programs.
Second.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Councilmember Parker.
Thank you. I had a quick question about this grant, $500,000 grant, and I appreciate the additional information that was in the grant routing form. $500,000 for the grant, no required match, but the grant routing form says a match is budgeted. So I was just trying to understand that a little bit further. If this was budgeted for $1 million with $500,000 in grant funding, or?
There is no match required for this grant.
Right, but my question is, why on the grant routing form does it say that there is a match budgeted?
I'll have to pull it up. I don't have the answer to that right now. I've reviewed this grant. There is no match required.
Okay. All right, I will abstain on this vote, but I appreciate the clarification that the plan is to,
If there was any match required at all, we would not apply for this grant.
oh, I hear that, but what I'm trying to understand is the scope of the project. Right now, it looks like 3-year grant, $500,000 would support a victim advocate position, just one position?
We're going to ask for 2 here, and then we're not going to hire someone we would contract. So right now, we have 1 overdose death advocate that is on a grant now. That grant is now sunsetted. So if we do get this grant, what we're going to ask for this grant is 1 advocate to work with our overdose death task force and 1 advocate to work with our violence crimes unit. But again, we would contract with that. We would not hire an employee.
Okay,
And this grant's good for 3 years.
thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Motion carries 7-0 with 1 abstention. Okay.
13S is an ordinance to close the southern portion of East Oklahoma Avenue as it abuts property at 510 Oklahoma Avenue, Glen Oak Missionary Baptist Church, and authorizing the mayor to execute quitclaim deeds to the adjacent property owners, 4th District.
Motion to approve.
Motion made to approve has been made and seconded. There is 1 person signed up to speak to this item in opposition, Mr. Jesse Ursery. Mr. Ursery, if you could come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to address council.
Thank you. My name's Jesse Ursery. I live at 515 East Oklahoma Avenue, directly across from Glen Oak. When I first became aware of this about 3 hours ago, I couldn't exactly read whether this was going to be closing Oklahoma Avenue and if quit claims were going to make their way across the street into my property. I've since become a little more aware of the limit to what we're doing here. And as far as a limit to gifting the church the property up to the existing curb and not reducing the Oklahoma right-of-way in any way and not privatizing any of the parking, I flipped mine being for it instead of against. I did talk with one of my neighbors, and the proposal came up that for gifting the church with this property, public property, we might consider an easement to allow public to use the playground. That would be a nice gesture, but in any case, I'm still for it instead of against it now.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember DeBartoleben.
Thank you for speaking, and I understand your concern. It took me some time to wrap my mind around it, but the condition is going to stay exactly as it stands today, and it's not up to the curb. There's actually room for a future sidewalk, which I appreciated about it, made me in favor that the right-of-way for a sidewalk remains.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
13T is an ordinance to approve and adopt the fiscal year 2027-2032 Knoxville Capital Improvements Programming, including the fiscal year 2027 capital improvements budget, City of Knoxville applicant, all districts.
Move to approve.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all.
Should this be on emergency?
Does this need to be on emergency?
Since the fiscal years.
Charles, does this need to be on emergency? Mr. Swanson?
Not believe it, yeah, I really looked it up. Won't hurt it to be on emergency.
Well,
We're about to
Mr.
enter-
Johnson thinks that maybe since this is the last council meeting in this fiscal year, it might make sense to do this on an emergency, so it takes only one reading. Is there a council member who'd like to make that motion?
I'd like to make a motion to, yeah.
Okay. There's been a motion to read it on an emergency basis. It's been made and seconded. First, we'll vote on whether to read on emergency. Everyone understand what you're voting on? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The motion to read it on an emergency basis passes. Now, back to the same motion, but under a slightly different status. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we can just do it all in one reading. So thank you, Mr. Johnson. Just good to be on the safe side.
Yes, ma'am. 13W is an emergency ordinance appropriating the sum of $45,464 from the Community Improvement Fund and donating same to community agencies and organizations as set forth in an attachment.
Motion made to approve and seconded. Councilmember Honeycutt.
Yes, thank you. I just had a small update I needed to make to my 202 funds for the record before we voted on it. So again, just for everyone's clarification out there, 202 funds are the small amount of money each council member gets to give to certain organizations that apply for it. So if you are a nonprofit or a neighborhood organization and want to apply for some of these money, you can do that through our office and we can get you information. So basically the small, I was happy to see that several of our organizations met their goal. So I could not give them the money that I hoped to give them in the record, which is wonderful. So I have to basically amend to move my, let's see, I make a motion to move to amend attachment 1 to amend attachment 1 to the ordinance by striking out $250 for South Doyle Middle School, PTSO, and inserting $1,000 for the South Doyle Middle School PTSO. So I'm able to give them more money than I originally hoped, which is great. This would revise the total appropriation of the ordinance to $46,214.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made to amend per what Mr. Honeycutt just said. It's been made and seconded. Does everyone understand the motion to amend?
I have a question.
Oh, Mr. Johnson.
Councilman Honeycutt, were there two organizations that you were?
No, it's fine. I amended it to just the one.
Just the one? Yeah. Okay. Can I check the math on that before we vote on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh, I threw a curveball. This is not good.
It's always
Yeah.
good to check with the city recorder.
If you can entertain them for a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Who has some dad jokes from Father's Day?
Yeah.
Well,
That's fine. I'll amend, to keep from throwing a curveball at the last minute here, so I'll amend my motion to be the original thing that Will and I talked about. Yeah, you like that? I tried. Sorry, South Doyle. Sorry. Blame Will. I move to amend Attachment 1 to the ordinance by striking out 250 for South Doyle Middle School PTSO and inserting $750, and striking out 250 for the Knoxville Opera Company and inserting 500, and to revise the total appropriation of the ordinance to $46,214.
Second.
Okay, let the record reflect that he withdrew his last amendment and is making this new amendment for what he just read. Mr. Johnson, is the math?
Yes.
Okay. The motion to amend has been made and seconded. Any questions or discussion on this amendment?
Yes, everyone, this is your last chance to use the money. Yes.
Seeing no further questions, Mr. Honeycutt, any third? Okay, all those in favor of this amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion to amend passes. Now back to the original motion as amended. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have 3 people signed up to speak at public forum. Each person is invited to come up to the podium, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to address council. First is Yvonne Newbert. Yvonne Newbert, if you could please make your way to the podium. State your name and address for the record, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to address council. Thank you, Ms. Middlebrook, for helping.
Here we go. And the microphone's right in front of you, okay?
Thank you, council. Thank you, Mayor, for this. I'd like to speak on the, for lack of better terminology, this closing of our disabilities office. And I know that you said, you know, the human resource is going to take over this. And the problem I have with all of this is it looks like there was no stakeholder input, meaning the disabilities community. And one of the things, you know, with everybody talking, that everybody's talking about, well, there's ways that we can get ADA disabilities information to the disabled community. But what I'd like to address is there's more to this office than that. It's the programs that have been developed, and an example of one of the programs was created by Stephanie, and every new police recruit class, we have a disability day where the leaders come and do disability training with our law enforcement and other, like with transit. And this program is also, you know, part of what happens through disability services in cities. And we need programs like this to continue, because programs like this open the doors, open communication, give education. If it wasn't for programs like this, we could have lots of safety issue lawsuits in our city. But thanks to the work that's been done by Stephanie, who knows the disability community, who knows the ADA laws, who has gone above and beyond and I've examined other disability offices across the state. And Knoxville, we've done some good things through the work of this. And also with the council, you know, Mayor, you said the council's going to be, we'll get this up and going. Where's it been, you know, what's been happening for the past couple of years? there's not been anything happening with this, and that's a disturbing.
Thank you. Ms. Newbert,
Okay.
the 3 minutes are up. Thank you for your comments.
Okay. And I represent like the National Federation of the Blind of Tennessee, Tennessee Valley Chapter. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person signed up to speak is Vivian Shipe. Ms. Shipe, if you would come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to address council.
Vivian Shipe, 3615 MLK 37914. When you seek information on CODI, which stands for the Mayor's Council on Disability Issues, you find all these statements about the City of Knoxville's commitment to accessibility and empowerment. CODI was declared as the vital sounding board for the city administration. However, that is all smoke and mirrors, for the truth is much different. CODI is supposed to have a minimum of 9 members with a maximum of 21. Instead, there are only 5 members, and the city website says there are no openings. And CODI was directed by the mayor not to meet for the last 2 years while a survey was conducted. What survey? And why were they directed not to meet on issues of disability while the survey was being conducted? Exactly who did you survey? Certainly not the whole city of Knoxville. And what has happened to all the CODI meeting minutes? They have disappeared off the website. Now, we learned that days before the retirement party of the disability coordinator, disability services are no longer a priority of this administration. And any questions regarding compliance issues will be henceforth handled by HR or calling 311. An explanation given by a representative from the city was that each department will be able to handle any issues that arise. The proclamation made by the city mayor on March 11th of this year on Disability Advocacy Day states the city's commitment to eliminate disparate issues that individuals with disabilities face. However, by its own action, the city of Knoxville has committed disparate treatment by creating unequal, disproportionate, and unbalanced opportunities for a specific group of people. Furthermore, the decision has put and created a barrier for those people to obtain resources, services, and opportunities. And in addition, removed the only avenue to have an advocate to report instances of discrimination. If you remove the advocate, why in the world did you even create a proclamation? The leaders that were in place were ADA certified. They're subject matter experts receiving major recognition in the nation for their knowledge and dedication. They carry the living experiences of those in need of the services that people may call about. Are you going to spend the dollars needed to educate every single person in all the different departments that you are now going to tell people to call? Will those dollars not be better spent creating full-time positions and benefits for a disability department? That decision, which was made in the dark, was the wrong decision to make. It is discriminatory and should be reversed. You should not save money on your lean budget by eliminating services for the citizens who need them the most. There should be an immediate search open for a new disability coordinator, and each of those 21 positions must be filled, and they should be filled by suggestions and approval by every single council member and not by the mayor.
Okay. The next person signed up to speak is George Childress. George Childress, thank you. Okay, if you can come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to address council.
Thank you, guys, for letting me speak today. Excuse me.
The podium does lower if you wish to lower it.
It should be okay.
Okay.
Now, I'm decently tall, you know. I'm a little short, but decently tall. So.
Okay.
So, again, I appreciate you guys letting me be here today to speak about this matter. And, you know, I love the city of Knoxville. Let me just go ahead and first say that. I wonder, though, where we are going with the city of Knoxville within this building. Dissolving the Disability Resource Office, DSO for Knoxville, I think is a mistake in the wrong direction, right? Because say you take these positions, what Stephanie does, what Misha did, and you drop all of that workload onto HR when HR already has a huge workload within theirself, right? And so I wonder at what point does those questions and these advancements within the community, when does that fall through the cracks, right? Because these people working with HR already have all this workload that they're dealing with, and then everything within the disability community is going to be dumped on top of them as well at that point, right? And then another question that I have, Stephanie, always in the community, always doing, you know, whatever kind of events it may be. The last year, spent time with KPD training recruits and just giving them kind of an inside look of the disability community and how they can help us out in the field itself, right? So my question is, when that happens, when the new HR person takes over, you know, Stephanie's role more or less, are they going to be in the community doing these same things, or are they going to be more, hey, the community comes to us, right? The community comes here to the city of Knoxville, or are they going to be out in the community doing the same stuff that Stephanie did? So that's like a general question to you all at this point.
Mr. Childress, this is an opportunity for us to listen. I'll come speak to you after the end of public forum, but this is our opportunity to listen to you.
Fair enough, fair enough. And yeah, I'm a very passionate person when it comes to this. I've been in a wheelchair for about 38 years now, right? I had a wreck when I was 19, and so I've been able to see both sides of what life is, you know. And on the able-bodied side, it's great, right? But being on the disabled side, right? It's like you're in a prison. And gosh, you know, before I had my wreck, I didn't really think about the disabled community. I didn't think about people like me and others in this community. And I just really fear that the direction that this city is going with this is that we will once again be voiceless and just another like nothing, right? And I know that, you know, genuinely you guys do not want that to happen, but with the dissolving of the Disability Services Office, with the removal of the ADA coordinator role into just being dumped into HR, I very much see that happening. But the thing y'all should remember is, at the end of the day, each and every one of us, y'all included, will face some kind of disability in your lifetime, whether it be something, you know, like being in a wheelchair or just elderly in general. And so I think it's just a very big disservice to dissolve that into HR and make their workload that much harder. But thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Okay, council members, that concludes public forum. Without objection, this meeting is adjourned.